Alright, ready?
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. You know me. Okay, no, you don't, but you know who I am. I'm Issa J, your former Smart Wrestling Alliance Heavyweight Champion. And I'm sitting next to
The new Small Wrestling Alliance Heavyweight Champion. The third time. And see, I only did it 3 times. So now it counts. Champion Liam Landry. Yeah, so it's great to have this title back. His reign of terror is over with. My reign of terror can begin.
Are we both heels or something?
Who says terror has to come from a heel?
True. Very true. We all know Becky's reign of terror is going strong, and she's the biggest face of the company.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright, we just watched WWE Evolution. And
the first WWE all women's pay-per-view.
yes. And overall, we'll get to that. But this is our Was It Worth It series where we go down the card and we let you guys know whether each match and segment was worth it or not. There was absolutely no segments, just a lot of interviews of saying how great this evolution is, and for all intents and purposes, we can't really remember everything that was said.
I'll just say that like this, it was great in a non-self-congratulatory way either. It sounded real more genuine and not just WWE patting itself on the back.
Yeah.
So I think they were nice breaks to have while they fixed the ring and everything. And overall very good. I don't know about you.
Yeah, overall it was nice, and
Yes.
I like the fact that when they let Alexa Bliss talk, they kept all of it in there with her basically saying that WWE had a problem that WWE had to fix, and now that they have, real change in the company can start to happen.
Okay, so we get with the first match tonight. We have Trish Stratus and Lita defeating the team of Mickie James and Alicia Fox, accompanied by Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, it was a nostalgia match without a doubt, and unfortunately the heels only got a little bit of offense in, not very much.
Just a build to a hot tag. So.
It was exactly what at least Lita didn't almost break her neck like she did at the Royal Rumble this past year.
Yeah, not the greatest for
not the greatest Royal Rumble, the first women's Royal Rumble. But yeah, it was exactly what it serviced to get the crowd hyped and happy, and of course the faces the legends went over here, even though I guess Lita is now a face. So yeah,
I would say that if you took it into a vacuum as if you didn't know who any of the people were in there, I definitely wouldn't say it's worth it. And as a match overall, I wouldn't say it's worth it. But it did serve its purpose there, so I don't know what to say about it really.
Yeah. So yeah, if this was just a tag team match between two unknowns versus Alicia Fox and Mickie James, it'd just be a weird squash match, and a lot of people wouldn't care for it, and you'd get a lot of boos and stuff. But because it was the legends, Trish Stratus and Lita, they had that nostalgic name behind it, that nostalgic feeling. So if you're into nostalgic stuff, it was worth it. But if you wanted to see a match proper, you're gonna have to wait until the next one. So we're not gonna really say if it was worth it or not, because for this particular match, it's hard to.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like Kylo Ren or something, like just let the past die or kill if you have to, you're probably not into this. You're not.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like a nostalgic guy. After he was very nostalgic. let's not get into Star Wars.
Wrong channel for that.
Yes, wrong rant for now. The next one is the women's battle royale for the shot at a women's championship. Either one, depending on what brand you're on. From the way they kind of talked about it afterwards, it seems like it is brand restricted.
Mm-hmm.
And Nia Jax won by eliminating Ember Moon as the last two in there. And overall, I would start off by saying I think it was a really good battle royal.
Yeah, it was booked really well.
Yes.
Surprisingly, the Legends did not get a lot of face time in the match.
Michelle McCool didn't really go on a tear like
she only
last
eliminated
time.
one woman, technically. Billy Kay and Peyton Royce. With the rest of she was about to eliminate. Oh crud! Who was that?
Somebody else.
She was blonde. She was about to eliminate Mandy Rose. But that didn't happen. And then Ember Moon got into it. Ember Moon eliminated her. Highlights of the match for me. Ivory was the last legend standing. I thought that was really cool. Not one of the divas, but one of the main women's wrestlers in the Attitude Era. We had Ember Moon eliminating quite a few people, being in the last 3 and the final 2, and almost eliminating Nia Jax herself, which was really cool. Zelina Vega being a really good heel, waiting to the last minute to try to get that win, and taking a scary looking bump. And obviously Nia Jax winning is a really good moment. But one to really take into account, one of my favorites since she got onto the main roster, Sonya Deville. She looked really good with Mandy Rose, and her and Mandy Rose basically got all of the legends eliminated. And then Mandy Rose turned on Sonya Deville. I think that was stupid, especially since they have a really popular YouTube series about them going around trying to find the best glazed donuts. But irregardless of that,
let's see if this actually translates into anything.
True, but
let's see if Vince McMahon actually watched it.
But regardless of any of that, Sonya Deville looking really good, and I really hope they have big stuff planned for her, because I want Sonya Deville to just skyrocket. She's so good. I'm a big fan of Sonya. I don't know if you know.
I should make the claim that if you didn't see our reactions, which are up on the YouTube page, you should check that out. We talked a lot about how this feels like it was booked by Triple H and felt like an NXT event more than Vince McMahon. That's why I made the joke of saying Vince McMahon may have never even watched it. And it's like, on one hand, it's great to see that if it was, because Triple H, of course, handled it much better. But on the other hand, it gives the impression that Vince McMahon didn't want to do it because he didn't care about it enough and wanted to care more about the upcoming Crown Jewel event, which would also be very sad. But guess technically works out for the best now. So they had a lot of good storylines not story bits in the Battle Royal, which is what you look for. Some cool stuff in there, and some nice eliminations. A lot of good personalities and good people getting their stuff in there. So, I think it was a very good one, and I think it was worth it.
It was definitely worth it.
Yeah. Okay, next match. We have the finals for the 2018 Mae Young Classic. And it is Toni Storm defeating Io Shirai. Io Shirai.
I love Toni Storm's gear. I love Io Shirai's gear. I love this match. They pulled out all the stops here. The storytelling was phenomenal. Io in her high flying stuff, it looks seamless. She has a really good looking 619. Tony Storm, really brutal in this one. You can definitely feel the desperation of wanting to get this win from her. And the storytelling between the two was really, really great.
Yeah, I thought most of all the same things there. I thought it was really great, really good storytelling. It really felt like a Japan style match, but the same idea of psychology and storytelling in there, and it was really good all the way through with a nice crescendo, like you would expect. And yeah, some awesome stuff, and I thought it was worth it. Would you say match of the night, or would you give that to something else?
This one, okay, this one was really, really good. Yes.
Yeah.
Only because of the finish of the next match we're about to talk about. But yes, this was probably match of the night. It was really, really good. Really solid match.
I'd also give it to it. Because I would say it's also probably the most perfect matchup there. When it comes to just having less flaws and everything else. And sometimes that's the part of being the best, is just having less flaws. And also being real good. Okay, the next match is the 6-woman tag team match. Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Natalya defeating the Riot Squad,
which is represented by Sarah Logan, Ruby Riott, and Liv Morgan.
Yes. Going all Halloween with their horror-based costumes. Yes. Did you want to start, or
you can start on this one.
Okay, I will start off by saying there was a lot of great work here from the Riot Squad. One time I ever really seen them do this type of work, because I guess they were given the ability to, or were worked with a good producer for this. But there was a lot of great, tag team work here, great ins and outs, and they really looked dominant and really looked great throughout most of the match. And of course, the faces did get stuff in there. They got, Heart Attack in there to pay homage to Natalia's father and all. They were all actually dressed in pink and black for, Heart Foundation and everything. But yeah, it was a very solid match in that regards. Really great creative stuff from there. So the Riot Squad looked really great. They do end up losing here, like we already talked about. But it was done in a way that they still looked really good in the match. To a point where you're like, oh, they must be losing because they're making them look really solid. But at least they made them look solid overall. And it was also nice how the end came from the faces, that they had to adopt some of the strategies of rapid tagging in succession to actually dominate that, and they had to learn from the heels to do it. So that was some good storytelling there.
Yeah, I would definitely have to say, if the Riot Squad would have won, this would have been match of the night for me, without a doubt. This was probably my favorite match as a whole, because of just how innovative all 6 women involved were taking it. The spot that actually... Okay, I have seen Takahashi get thrown on his neck and it almost get broken, and Liam here did not even make a face or wince, or it didn't faze him. Sasha Banks got thrown onto an all-metal barricade, and it got him. So that right there tells you something. All 6 women in this match made you care of who was gonna win, the bumps they were taking, and I absolutely love this seamless tag in and out from the Riot Squad. I've always said that the Riot Squad should be like on a higher pedestal than what they are, and when they were around, Absolution should have been on a higher pedestal than what they were. And it's just, I don't know if it's because they're on a show where everything is focused on one woman, or it's just that Vince does not see the talent potential and greatness of these three women, or if it's a combination of both. But Riot Squad was amazing, and I like that all three women, the faces, took moves from other people, like the huge power bomb, the frog splash, and which one was the one that Bailey took from the other legend? I can't remember what it was, but she did. Michael Cole mentioned it too.
Oh, you mean what she did? Homage was the elbow drop.
That's right.
Macho Man.
Yeah, Macho Man, Eddie Guerrero, and I guess Natalia's father.
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, he did power bomb.
And that was a cool way to at least finish it in retrospect. But great match. It was definitely worth it.
Okay, so we're going on to the next match. You thought it was worth it?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was worth it. We go on to the next match for the NXT Women's Championship match. We had Shayna Baszler defeating Kairi Sane, who was the champion. Now,
is Shayna the first two-time NXT Women's Champion or not?
Women's Champion, yeah.
Okay.
I think Joe was the first men's two-time champion.
Mm-hmm.
So, I thought this was a really great match all the way up until the end. I didn't like the interference in there and the ref, and that took me out of it a lot, but it was a really great match, even better than their TakeOver New Orleans match up until that point. So
I'm pretty sure Ember Moon was the one in TakeOver New Orleans. So she did the
last TakeOver, whatever it was.
Brooklyn 4?
Yeah,
Brooklyn 4.
Brooklyn.
I thought this was a really good match, and you definitely saw this fighting spirit in Kairi Sane, and you saw the ruthlessness of Shayna Baszler. Like you said, the interference came from the other horsewomen. I don't know their names.
Yes.
I do not know their names, but they finally got involved in a match. They actually finally got involved and featured on the ring. And then after Shayna wins, she grabs the two of them from the back, and they all walk up the ramp together. So it feels like that's their introduction to NXT proper. Liam was saying on our live predictions that...
Then that was clearly the point where they had the new NXT people at ringside waving.
Yeah.
So clearly it was an NXT TakeOver event.
Yeah.
Disguised as a WWE event.
Exactly. But
yes.
Liam was saying how they never do the whole, the women... Matt Riddle, what's the other guy, the big black guy?
Bobby Lashley?
No. He's on NXT. He's a big guy, but he does flips and stuff.
Keith Lee?
Keith Lee, War Raiders, even Shinsuke Nakamura and Drew McIntyre, just to name a few, all had their moments of, oh yeah, here's the guys, they're coming into the show soon.
No, not Shinsuke.
Oh, Shinsuke didn't get that?
And not War Raiders.
Oh. I thought they did.
War Raiders just jumped people in the NXT taping.
Oh.
Before TakeOver New Orleans.
Wait, then who's the card am I thinking of?
I don't remember any tag teams actually doing that.
Oh. So it's just, okay. Well, I know Drew definitely did.
Yeah,
and there's
Drew
been a
did.
few, but
yeah,
all of them men is what I'm getting at.
Uh-huh.
All of them men. And then, I could have totally thought, maybe not Shinsuke, but I totally did think I saw War Raiders at one, but I could be mistaken. No. Okay, I know what it was. Anyways, all the men, right? Never any women. This felt like a way to actually start being like, oh yeah, this woman is coming. These women are coming into NXT proper now, and that's what it felt like, which was cool. Unfortunately, it distracted from the match itself. Overall, though, it was worth it, despite the wonky finish.
Yeah, I would say worth it overall, but wonky finish does take it down a peg. Okay, so we go on to the next one for the last woman standing match for WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. It was said to be the first in WWE history, but it's not. So Becky Lynch, the champion, defeated Charlotte Flair to retain her championship. And I thought that despite the wonky ref and wonky keeping to the rules, it was a really good matchup.
They definitely surprised me at how hardcore they were going.
Yeah.
Those vicious shots from Charlotte to Becky with that kendo stick. And the fact that every time Charlotte took a massive bump, it looked like on her face she did not want to be there. But yeah, I do have to say the ref was very distracting, and it definitely took you out of the match. Especially when you have twice Charlotte Flair on her knees, and the ref just stopped counting, and it's like, but she's not up. The match is over. And then the finish of the match, the same exact thing happened, and the ref continued to count, and it was just like, okay, I guess that wasn't the finish, but really, whatever. The finish was brutal though. Like that, no resistance to that table, just cracked and all the body weight onto the ground for Charlotte. But yeah, at least Becky wins. So this one's tough for me. What did you think overall?
I thought worth it overall. So just that one complaint with the ref and the rules, keeping it bold. But
yeah, and at least the right woman won. So I'll definitely say yeah. Like talking about it, a lot more great stuff happened. It's just that ref was distracting, like I said. So it was worth it if you can get past that ref.
Yeah.
And final match of the night.
It was the match for the WWE Raw Women's Championship. Ronda Rousey, the champion, retains by defeating Nikki Bella by submission, of course.
I feel like Nikki Becca. I feel like Nikki Bella had way too much offense in. There was like a whole point where Nikki just had all the offense.
I mean, Nikki Bella, Becca, that sounds like you're the one who got dropped on their face. Because that happened twice in this match. By Ronda.
Oh man. They tried to do that weird Samoan drop, but not a Samoan drop maneuver with both Nikki
Bella
and
twins?
Brie, and it just didn't work. And at least the production team recognized that.
Yeah, on the replay, they showed it from a different angle where you don't see them land.
Yeah, so that was smart of them. Which also makes me feel like Triple H was the head of the show. Yeah. I feel like Becky should have been the finish, especially with the way this match ended up going. But what do you
it's a
think
real overall letdown for how good it was going to be. That match, which felt more like something you would see on Raw.
Also, or as in, if not Raw, then the opening of a pay-per-view, at least, maybe.
I would say more middle, if
Mid-card?
anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was that point. There was also that point where she did put her in a almost on the bar thing on the top rope and dragged her down. Remember that one where she landed on the back of her neck and shoulder and head?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that wasn't good. So good for Nikki for being a trooper there, I guess. For surviving all that. It's not an overall bad match. but it's the weakest of the card, and I would even say that, but even with the first one, because I felt the first one offered more with the nostalgia trip than this one did. So I can't necessarily say it's not worth it, but I can say that if you're short on time, it is skippable.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to say, for me personally, they had some slimmers of hope and some slimmers of good stuff in there, but they decided to do basically a John Cena match, where surprisingly Nikki Bella was not the John Cena. So I guess just like you said, just like the first match of the night, the last match of the night was in that middle ground. If you like this style of match, you're gonna enjoy seeing Ronda Rousey make her comeback and get that eventual win. But if you like the stuff like Riot Squad versus Three Faces, Natalya, Sasha, Bayley, or Io Shirai versus Toni Storm, heck, even Becky and Charlotte, or Shayna and Kyrie, this one is not gonna be your favorite match of the night. So it's in that middle ground.
I would say Shayna and Kyrie did what this match did, but better. So it's in that, yes, if you wanted to see Ronda Rousey and you like her as what she's becoming. No, if you like the other matches on the card, because you got a lot more from them versus this one. It's not a bad match, but it's a weak match, and a strong card. That's a problem.
Yeah, especially to end the night.
Yeah.
But I will say the crowd was into it. They definitely elevated the show, which was nice, and it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
Which is again why we feel like Triple H made this possible. Let's quickly talk about the very, very last shot, and then we'll get to the overall thoughts. The last shot was Ronda Rousey holding her title, going back into the ring, leaving the ring, being all buddy-buddy with the fans, and then the camera turns around and you see all the women, even the ones feuding with each other, all the heels and faces, and they're celebrating with Ronda, and Michael Cole even makes a point of saying, oh, and all the women are celebrating Ronda Rousey's win for the Raw Women's Championship. And both Liam and I are just like, but why though? None of this makes sense. What?
You should keep storyline on a show, and even if you want to say, oh, well, you let all the women take a final bow. Number one, they can do that off camera. Number two, if you want to do that, Nia Jax wasn't there, because you saw Nia Jax in a video backstage watching Ronda Rousey to set up their match in the future.
The women who should be with
So
Ronda.
even Nia Jax didn't get that, so you can't say, oh, we'll just let everyone celebrate. And for whatever reason, they don't let her celebrate with the other 4 horsewomen. It's like this weird disconnect since SummerSlam with them.
Yeah. Like all 4 of them were there for Shayna Baszler's loss when Kyrie won, but then when they were at SummerSlam, nothing for Ronda when she won her title. So this just, you can definitely tell Vince McMahon doesn't really watch or care about the stories that NXT are creating, which is a shame. Yeah.
So,
and I don't remember, she might have been there, but I don't even remember if Becky Lynch was on that final shot. I don't recall seeing her, but I could be wrong.
That's probably because she keeps kayfabe.
Yeah.
So,
even on Twitter.
Yeah. Even when doing reaction videos on YouTube.
She tried so hard to, though, but she cracked a few times. Oh. I love the one where she was like, she watches herself beat up Charlotte. She just cracks a smile, and she knows she lost, and she's like, okay, going kayfabe here. Oh, whenever seeing me watching myself beat up Charlotte, it's a good day, or whatever she says, something into that effect. I was like, oh yes, Becky's the greatest. Love her. So, overall, what did you think?
Overall, I think you should watch the pay-per-view, and then at the main event of Becky Lynch versus Charlotte, you should be happy with it and just kind of cut it off there. It's once again, it's just more that the final part is weak, and it, if you take that out, it's a very solid one. So it's solid.
Yeah, B plus. In respects to our other compatriot DJ, he is not here this evening. He said his entire name on the.
Yeah, he did.
That's funny. Anyways, yeah. I don't know what he would give it. B plus, A minus, B plus, A minus.
I would put it in the A range myself.
Okay, yeah. Thinking about it, A minus, only because the first match and the last match were the weakest, but everything else in between was really solid.
Yeah, it was some of the best women's matches of the year. Some really top overall matches, men or women, as well.
Very true. Especially Mae Young Classic Finals.
Yeah, and the NXT Women's Championship as well. Except for that den pod, but yeah.
And surprisingly enough, my favorite match of the night, Riot Squad versus... But then again, I really like multi-man matches, don't I? But
anyways...
Thank you guys so much for watching. Please give us those sexy, sexy likes.
And the unsexy ones.
Don't forget to share to all of your friends.
And enemies.
If you like what we do. Please subscribe to the channel to become a part of the Smarky family. And then hit that notification bell. Why should they do that, though?
You get notified for when we go live. We go live for our podcast every Sunday, shooting with the Smarky families at 1 p.m. Central Time. We also go live for most pay-per-views and inside WWE and outside, and you just get notified for when we post videos.
And you want to be notified, especially if you are a part of the Smarky family.
And also, you can follow me on Twitter at Liam_SWA.
Follow me on Twitter at IsaJ_STP. Leave comments below to let us know what you thought about the show overall. What was your favorite match? And how did you think WWE performed on this event? And, like we've been doing all night long, follow Francesca Bettinelli on Twitter and Instagram at Francesca_SWA. Yeah.
Also, clarification: we're not going to go live for the Crown Jewel event.
It is our way of protesting. We don't really want to support it. We will. I might watch it because I think my aunt wants to see it, so I'll watch it if that's the case. Other than that, we might boycott it completely.
Yes.
And we'll just read what happens. Yeah. Read results to you. Sound good? We're good?
Yeah, sounds good.
Alright, until next time, everybody, it will be awesome.
And I'll be champion.
Survivor Series, you cannot come fast enough.
Don't you mean Summer Series?
Shut up.